This video was made possible by the good people at EA and the EA Game Changers program.
What is going on, guys? It's your dude Shopmaster. Welcome back to the channel. In this exclusive Madden NFL 22 video, we're going to take a look at talent trees, a new addition in franchise mode for Madden NFL 22. But before we do, make sure you stick that like button, subscribe to the channel. Also stick that notification bell so you know when I upload a new Madden NFL 22 video. So let's get into it. There's a lot of information that we need to digest here for talent trees and what has been added into Madden NFL 22 franchise. You want to first, as you see here, come to your hub, then go to manage staff and then franchise staff. And this will lay out all the staff on your team. You'll see your head coach, your offensive coordinator, and your defensive coordinator, and your player personnel. Now you can go to any other team and see what they have as well by just hitting L2, and that'll take you to other teams. But we're gonna focus right here on the Washington football team, my favorite team, of course. And we're gonna take a look at the talent trees of the head coach, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and player personnel. So as we go into the head coach, before we start breaking down all these icons and what it means, I want to point out a couple of things for you guys. First, you'll see how many staff points you have in the upper right hand corner. And then as we go over the different icons, you'll see a panel over here on your right that'll give you the title of the icon. It'll tell you how many staff points it needs. It'll tell you the description, and then it'll tell you the tiers that icon or that talent has. And then it'll tell you whether you own this talent, whether you can purchase this talent, or whether you can't purchase this talent because it's locked, because you need to purchase the talent before it. Now, so let's go ahead and get into the talent tree of the head coach. As you can see, this first talent is Secret Remedy. It decreases the multi-week injury recovery time. As you go down, this is the defensive side of the tree. Once you unlock one side of the tree, the other side is locked. So you can see here, I unlocked this from the top down, which increases XP gains for free safeties and strong safeties in training. This side is locked, which is the offense. On this side, you increase XP gains for the defense. Here is for your defensive line. Here is for your linebackers. And here is for your cornerbacks. Now, as you can see, there's different tiers. The first tier is 10%. The second tier is 20%. Now, you do not need to purchase both tiers in order to go down and purchase the next option underneath of it. You can just purchase one tier and then go down and purchase the next tier. On the offensive side, you have the offensive line increase, halfbacks and fullbacks, wide receivers and tight ends, and then you have your quarterbacks. So these are all increased XP training. When you do your weekly training, this will give them an XP boost. Now this one right here is the final piece, and this allows you to have all your team count as scheme fits during training. So that means that even if they're not a scheme fit, they still will count as a scheme fit during training if you get this one. Here we have Fountain of Youth. This slows rating regressions for one season for one position. Very helpful if you have an aging running back, but you still need him to perform. Maybe you didn't get nothing in the draft that you wanted, so you need him to not regress or slow the ratings down for that one season. And then here we've seen enough. This will reveal a hidden development trait for one player once per season. As you know, when you get certain rookies, their development trait is hidden. This will unlock it for you. As we take a look at the staff modification tree, you can get both sides on this tree. This one's an eye for talent. Player personnel talents cost 20% less. So this means that when we go over to the player personnel tab, any talent we get will be 20% less if we have this. Obviously we have two, so because there were two tiers, the first one was 10%, this one was 20%. As we go down, this is hands on the offense. Basically, it allows the offensive coordinator talents to cost 10% less. This one is not all is lost. This allows 10% talent refund when replacing the offensive coordinator. So let's say you have an offensive coordinator, you buy a bunch of talents for his tree, and then you decide to go ahead and fire him. When you fire him, you'll get back 10% of the talents that you actually spent for that coordinator. Here is a increased hiring bonus when signing offensive coordinator. So when you sign someone, you'll get a hiring bonus, meaning you'll get staff points coming back to you. On this side of the ball is just about the same thing. On the other side is just defense. So here we got hands-on defense. Defense coordinator talents cost 10% less. This one is same team, same scheme, 10% refund when replacing defensive coordinator. And then this one is increase the hiring bonus when signing a defensive coordinator. Now this after school tutoring is probably my favorite talent of all the talents that are in the game right now. And this one allows you to access an additional focus player through weekly training. And as you can see here is 3 tiers. So we all know that at the beginning of the year, you get 3 players that you get to focus on every week for training. Well, if you get all 3 tiers of after school tutoring, you'll get an additional 3 players. So a total of 6 players to focus on through weekly training, which I think is a big thing, especially if you're trying to develop a franchise and trying to rebuild a franchise. You definitely need to hurry up and get down to the after school tutoring talent. This last one, mistakes were made. Reset 1 talent for offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, or player personnel once per season. So this allows you to reset a talent tree. Basically take all the talents that you had and just reset it. Maybe you want to go a different way. Maybe for offensive coordinator, instead of one side, you want to go to the other side. So you can maybe, because you developed one side of the ball really good, you might want to just go ahead and get all that talent back and then do the other side. So I think this is a great one as well. Mistakes were made. We'll see. All right, let's move on to offensive coordinator. All right, as an offensive coordinator, you have X Factors on, which gives you the ability to equip X Factors on the offensive lineup. Here we have mean streak. As you again, once you go on one side, the other side is locked. So this boosts the impact blocking for fullbacks by 1. So the important thing for like on the block tree is that these give a rating boost. So these give rating boosts. Here you boost the run blocking fitness of offensive linemen by 1 for on the move talent. And then as we go to the other side, mean streak, this boosts impact blocking for tight ends. And then you boost run block power for offensive linemen by 1 with the people movers. Here on an island, you get boost pass block for tight ends by 3. And then you get true grinders, boost impact blocking for wide receivers by 1. And then film junkies, boost awareness for offensive linemen by 1. And then weight room, boost strength rating for offensive linemen by 4. Now, as we take a look at the practice makes perfect tree for the offensive coordinator, you have pliability. This boosts the injury rating of all offensive players by 4. So all your players on offense get boosted by 4 in the injury rating. Then you have brace for impact. This boosts in traffic for wide receivers by 3. Ball security. This boosts carrying for halfbacks and fullbacks by 1. And then the next tier by 3. And then run up the hill. This boosts stamina for wide receivers again by 3. And then again, once you go on one side, it locks the other side. So you need to make sure you choose wisely when you do this stuff. Brace for impact, this boosts catching traffic for tight ends. Ball security boosts carrying for quarterbacks. And then run up the hill boosts stamina for quarterbacks, halfbacks, and fullback. Now once you get here, fancy footwork boosts release for wide receivers. Then you have concentration boost catching for wide receivers, tight ends by 5. And then you have concentration boost catching for halfbacks and fullbacks. The other thing to note is that even though up here, once you get one talent, it locks the other side. Once you get down here, you can get both of these. The same with on this side with on the block. I can get both of these as well. So one side, once you get past the initial tree, they don't lock the other side once you get one. All right, let's go ahead and go to defensive coordinator. All right, for defensive coordinator, you have the trench play tree and the practice make perfect tree. It's very similar to the offensive coordinator. This is just for the defense. So here we have X Factors on, get the ability to equip X Factors on defensive linemen. Lineup. So you definitely need to get that first. And then you have in the clutches, this boosts tackles for your linebackers. You have shoot the gap. This boosts block shedding for your left ends and right ends, so your defensive ends. Then you have Hot Pursuit. This boosts pursuit for your left end defensive tackles and right end, so basically your defensive line. Squared Up, this boosts hit power for your left ends and right ends. So all of these are all, looks like, outside linebackers and defensive ends and defensive linemen. Then you have the other side, which is unlocked for this defensive coordinator. In the clutches, this boosts the tackle for your defensive line. Shoot the Gaps, this boosts block shedding for your defensive tackles. Hot Pursuit, this boosts pursuit for your outside linebackers and your middle linebackers. And then you have Squared Up, which boosts hit power for your defensive tackles. And then at the very bottom, you have Weight Room, which boosts strength for your left end defensive tackles and right end. Now, I know what you're saying. Hold on, what about the cornerbacks and stuff? Well, we got them covered over here. Again, this is pliability. This boosts your injury rating for everyone. Then you have Seen That Before. This boosts play recognition for your cornerbacks. Again, once you get a talent on one side, the other side is locked. Then you have Hot Pursuit. This boosts pursuit for cornerbacks. Soft Hands boosts catching for cornerbacks. Run Up the Hill boosts stamina for cornerbacks and safeties. In the Clutches boosts tackle for free safeties and strong safeties. Then on the other side, you have Seen That Before. This boosts play recognition for safeties. Hot Pursuit, this boosts pursuit for safeties. Soft Hands, this boosts catching for safeties. Run Up the Hill, this boosts stamina for your linebackers. And in the Clutches, this boosts tackling for your cornerbacks. And then this last one is Roadblock. This boosts press for your cornerback by 1. I'm actually surprised that they put the roadblock at the end. I guess everybody wants more pressing by their cornerback, so that's definitely a hot one to get. All right, that's going to do it for your offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Let's go and take a look at what the player personnel tree looks like. All right, here we have the player personnel tree, and in the player personnel tree, you can get everything. Like, one thing doesn't get locked when you go from one side to the other side. I really feel like the player personnel tree is going to be great for guys who are not in multiplayer online leagues, who really just go ahead and play by themselves. Some of these actions are probably not good for multiplayer leagues, but some of them are, and we'll take a look at those. So here we have Mentors Wanted. This is a 5% trade discount on players older than 30. Draft Day Every Day, 2% trade discount for CPU draft picks. This one is Wheeling and Dealing, 2% trade value increase for user draft picks. Here we have Guaranteed Online One, which is guaranteed trade package for current user pick during the draft. So I guess this allows you to guarantee a trade package during the draft if you want to trade something to the computer. Like, I'm pretty sure if you're playing in a 32-man league, that probably wouldn't be something that you get. Quite the sales pitch. Non-X Factor user players will be valued 1 dev trait higher than actual in trades. Wow, that's kind of interesting. So if a player is a non-X Factor player, he'll be valued at 1 dev trait. So let's say he's a star, he'll be valued at a superstar trait higher than he actually is in trades. Again, this is something for somebody who's playing a franchise by themselves. Like, this wouldn't fly with 32 online players, because they can see what dev that player is. All right, everyone's got a price. 2% trade discount for CPU players. The Grass is Greener, 2% trade value increase for user players. And then we have Smooth Talker, reduce the cost of trading up during the draft. Again, all of these I feel like are great if you're playing in a franchise by yourself. Now let's go take a look at contracts, because I do think contracts in a multiplayer league, this is something that you may be able to take advantage of. Hometown discount, 5% discount on players under 80 overall on resign. Again, something you can use in your 32 online league. 15 yards away, increased likelihood of free safety, strong safety signing through free agency. Line Guru, increased likelihood of offensive linemen signing through free agent. Applying pressure, increased likelihood of defensive line signing through free agency. Feels like home, scheme fits have increased interest in signing through free agents. So I like that. I like that. I've always thought that when you have a guy that's a scheme fit, that he should prioritize your place, your organization better than somebody else. Even if the money, especially if the money is close. If the money is close and he actually has a scheme fit for you, I believe that this should give you the edge in acquiring that guy through free agency. And it looks like with this talent, you'll be able to do that. Backfield vision, increased likelihood of running backs and halfbacks signing through free agency. And then we have second level up, increased likelihood of linebackers signing through free agency. And then we'll go down to the ultimate catch, increased likelihood of wide receivers and tight ends signing through free agency. And then blanket coverage, increased likelihood of cornerbacks signing through free agency. And then QB whisperer, increased likelihood of quarterbacks signing through free agency. And the last one is unlocker. Unlock one player in re-signing who is not interested in negotiating once per season. So we always get that when you're signing your guys and somebody says, yo, I'm not interested, I want to test free agency. If you have this unlocker talent unlocked, then you can still sign him. That's interesting. That's interesting. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope this gave you a lot of information on talent trees and what you need to do in order to sort of build up your franchise in Madden NFL 22. As always, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new Madden NFL 22 video, as I'll have more here as we get closer and closer to the launch of Madden NFL 22. As always, follow me on my socials. Hit me up on Twitter at Shotmaster and follow me on twitch.tv/ShotmasterTV. This your dude, Shotmaster. Hope all is well. Peace and blessings. I'm out. Peace.